Good morning, folks. We're going to talk some more about Trex. I put up my take on the whole situation with them yesterday. In the meantime, got plenty of comments have rolled in on that. Trex arms themselves, they've doubled right on down. That's what they like to do. And, the whole situation's a good time. It's good fun. So first, let's go through the comments we got yesterday. And I actually I thought it was pretty fun and interesting how you can just load up AI summaries of comments now right in the YouTube thing. So I went ahead and did that. I had YouTube summarize my comments. I put the summary up on Instagram because just because this is interesting. Okay, here's a summary of your comments. The overwhelming sentiment is that Trex Arms' current marketing and public relations approach is counterproductive, unprofessional, and damaging their brand significantly, reinforcing negative perceptions stemming from Lucas Bodkin's departure. It has damaged brand and loyalty shift. Very frequently, that's mentioned. A vast majority of commenters express that Trex Arms has lost their loyalty and trust due to Lucas Bodkin's exit and the perceived mishandling of the situation, leading many to explicitly state they will no longer purchase from Trex Arms or actively seek alternatives. Very frequently, the unprofessional marketing is mentioned. Commenters consistently describe Trex Arms' communication style, particularly their direct responses to the video creator, as childish, unprofessional, desperate, out of touch, and actively harming their image and reputation. Lucas Bodkin is a core identity. Frequently, many viewers emphasize that Lucas Bodkin was the singular driving force, face, and lifestyle brand of Trex Arms. Without him, the company lacks credibility, purpose, and content appeal, leading to irrelevance for much of the former audience. Yeah, I think that's a very fair summary of the comments that came in. Now, there was, of course, some critics. We'll go through that and address some of those people. That should be good. And also, Trex themselves weighed in again. Now, you guys know Trench Grenade. He gets into the drama. That's fine. He put up a video talking about Trex Arms using the R word. They called me retarded, which that doesn't really offend me, but that does offend some people. I get it. So Trench went after them for that, and they got into his comments and doubled down on it. What did they say? They're in his comments, dang, that's crazy, which I think is kind of funny. Like, this is the stuff that I would do, which is like say something aggressive or say something mean and then double down on it. However, it hits different when you have positioned your company like Trex Arms. They're supposed to be better than all that. They're supposed to be better, but definitely they are not. All right, let's get to some of the more negative comments here. Lucas is out of touch, starting a lifestyle brand that is the same as a bunch of other companies and hoping to garner sympathy to prop him up. They're all fucking douches. It's honestly super weird how the internet has rallied behind a complete idiot, but I guess that's pretty much standard protocol. No need to attack you. But Lucas is far from the guy in the right after giving his company away. Okay, I mean, I think the thing here is that Lucas does have a charisma. Like, likability matters. Likability matters. And it's not just people coming out of the woodwork to prop up Lucas for no reason. It's like, people do like Lucas. A lot of people do. It's fine if you don't, but a lot of people do like Lucas or they find him interesting. I don't think his whole thing is a sympathy play. It hasn't really come off that way to me. It doesn't feel that way. People always make those accusations, but it doesn't feel that way to me. Just to be clear, the stink has always been there for a lot of us, Lucas or not. All right, and that's a fine point of view, but the fact is you can't really it's not like Trex lost you as a customer. You were never a customer because hey, I don't like Trex and I don't like Lucas. Well, you were never a customer. What does that really matter? All right, what Ben says about lifestyle brand is 1,000% accurate. I was a frequent customer of Trex when Lucas was there. I wanted to give them money. I've still got unopened accessories I ordered a year before Lucas left. Now I wouldn't take an AC 1.5 or whatever if it was free. I haven't touched my Trex sling, and honestly, had I known Lucas's brothers treated him that way and essentially stole so much of the company from him, I probably wouldn't have been a customer in the first place. Not only will I never be a Trex customer again, I will not be a customer of any company that hires current employees in the future. Wow, Jesus. That's rough, man. Yeah. All right. Let's go through here and see what else you guys had to say. I think there was a lot of funny comments. Quite a lot of them. I really like the way you handle this kind of stuff. You don't take it personal, non-combative, almost constructive. Yeah, so I do get this a lot. You could notice I don't really get mad at the T-Rex guys insulting me, or like, I mean, really, they're being as nasty as they can be, as nasty as they can imagine being. But I see that for what it is. They don't have anything to say. It's not like they can come out and say, oh, we had the biggest Black Friday sale ever. You don't know what you're talking about. Or, oh, hey, the business is great. Or what. They don't have any. They're just going to be mad. And as soon as you start talking like that, where it's like, you're being, all you have, you're being nasty and insulting. That's it. Well, that's telling me, what the truth is. Not that I didn't already know, but it just kind of confirms it. It's like, oh, okay. I see what's going on with you guys. So no, it's not personal. It's not personal. I mean, it would seem that way to me, but when those guys attack me, it's not personal. They're just defending themselves. All right, their response reeks of desperation and frustration. Yes, I have to admit, it's very fun watching Ben enjoy it. He's making me rethink how I handle a lot of stuff. Yes. Again, would a lot of people be upset, like, oh, they're being nasty to me, they're being mean, whatever. No, I view it as, it's like a submission signal. It's like, oh, that's all you got. Okay. Well, that's not too good for you. Your take on this situation seems pretty balanced when it comes to factoring in both sides of the story. T-Rex seems to be taking your matter-of-fact attitude very personally. It is personal. I mean, the reason that it bothers them so much is because it's on the nose. I'm not saying stuff that's wrong or crazy. It's a pretty accurate assessment. And again, that's why it upsets them. All right. Lucas is setting an example, and T-Rex was an extension of him selling what he uses and recommends, stuff that works. Given some of them make sense and some of them maybe, that's how it works. Not everything has to make sense to you, but he's giving people options and things to consider, and most importantly, he's walking the talk. Yes, Lucas actually participates in doing training and preparation and blah, blah. He's doing all that stuff so he can speak on it in an informed fashion. Like, for example, if there was a certain rifle setup that I wanted to know how it shot, like, ooh, how's the impulse on it or whatever, I would ask Lucas. Like, he has so much experience with different guns and different setups. Like, he would almost certainly have a very informed opinion. The fact that T-Rex felt the need to respond is an indicator of what's going on. Lucas is paying you is a desperation move. I mean, I wonder who they're paying as influencers. They're hurting and desperate. Lucas is doing what he wants, not paying attention to T-Rex. He's in his own world, busy attracting customers and vendors. Yeah, no, it's obviously stupid. Lucas wouldn't have to pay me. Like, I think that talking about the T-Rex thing is fun. Lucas did come in and comment. Can confirm I did dumb shit. See, Lucas is always funny. The fact that T-Rex feels the need to go after Ben for basically making truth statements and then drawing conclusions on facts shows me the T-Rex being rejected by their base. And clearly the feeling is mutual. The people who buy T-Rex gear are the same people who watch these videos. 10 years from now, T-Rex is going to be that brand that people remember using before they switched over to adaptive defense. Yes, probably so. T-Rex's latest newsletter consisted of 3 new products. A bandana for your dog, retro-themed stickers, and a minimalist hoodie. It's literally just a hoodie with the T-Rex logo on it. Yeah, T-Rex is done for. Yeah. They're not, like, they're not doing anything. LOL, you know someone is weak when they have to respond to a dude in his house on a crappy camera saying they look weak. Yes, exactly. All right, having Isaac read the Anarchist Cookbook or whatever, I'm dead. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good joke. I don't know what the fuck got into them with the bomb thing. Now, of course, I don't have a problem with people having legal explosives. I don't really care if people have illegal explosives. Whatever. It is not a great pivot. It's kind of a weird pivot to go from selling holsters and then what's Lucas doing? Like, looking at the market, like, hey, you know what? No one's doing legal bombs. Like, you can actually get this and this legal, and then you can 3D print this thing. Oh, It's like there's a market here for that. Like, hey, dipshit, no one is selling that stuff for a reason. Like, that is not a good thing to go on YouTube and start talking about. It doesn't really matter if it's legal. People are like, there's going to be issues when you start doing that stuff. I can feel Christ's love through their entire statement. Yes, it is interesting that the T-Rex clique, they will tell you how Christian they are. They're very Christian. Just ask them. But when you look at their behaviors and how they talk, these guys are nasty fucking people, a lot of them. They're very nasty people. That's why I do not feel bad being a little bit mean to them. All right, hey, I wasn't a fan of Lucas. He made some mistakes early on. Realizing he was still a young man and watching him grow to be a better man, better businessman, he became a 100% net positive for our community. All right, those first two sentences are, who doesn't agree with that? I mean, as far as like, yeah, Lucas, early on, he said and did things that, even the controversial stuff, there was like no upside to it. The last few years, he's been, he's doing very positive things. It's hard to argue with that. Full disclosure, I did get some free gear from Trex Arms. Also 100% sure. Lucas had nothing to do with that, as our beliefs do not align with each other. Okay. I will go further. I actually did business with his brother David before I ever did business with Lucas. Insert whatever dirty joke you want here. Was that Creepy David or the other one? Probably just the regular one. All right, I believe T-Rex are lying just from my own knowledge and some back channels with the people on the T-Rex team. Holy shit, you have put that together. Well, goddamn. Well, pay attention to what you have to say. It's Sherlock Holmes over here. I have no plans to buy anything from T-Rex. They were usually the number one place I would check first, but I no longer recommend. I will buy some of his new products. Didn't buy a sling as I'm a loyal customer to another friend, Shadow Equipment, and his slings. Also, I can say I wasn't always a fan of Ben, but became much more a fan after people started attacking him for what I believe to be reasonable takes on his part. I don't know what about my comments really, but maybe it's just a rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You're welcome. See, it's a whole journey. We're all here. You see somebody, you don't like them initially, and then later on, they kind of grow on you. That's kind of like me. I grow on you. I'm like the fungus of the shooting world. Ben's a great shooter and a very entertaining guy who I personally like, but he couldn't be more wrong. Their response kind of nailed him. And if you think shooting on the flat range is the pinnacle of civilian preparedness, you're delusional. Comms, like Meshtastic, which myself and now Isaac encourage, are debatably more powerful, a preparedness tool than any firearm. Much the same way that being able to navigate and render first aid is paramount to civilian preparedness. Ben's audience may be able to pick up a Glock 47 and fight off an invasive or totalitarian regime, but the rest of us would like to evade, communicate, collaborate, and actually survive such a potential situation. Dorks calling each other dorks is all I see on news influencers vids lately, so let's give it a rest on the preparedness topic. Everybody with public-facing personality is a little narcissistic and a little bit of a dork. You all need to get over yourselves and let each other do your own thing. Let me explain to you the point here. Preparedness is fine. You do whatever you want. That people go get prepared. That's good. Marketing-wise, that's not very sexy. It's really not. Having Lucas running around shooting, using different gear, different guns, all this stuff, it's an easy content farm. It really is, and it's good marketing. And the idea is you bring people in with the flashy stuff, then you can sell them the other stuff too, or get them ready in other ways. I mean, this is what you guys don't understand. We're like, hey, just think about it. You're looking at whatever, the preparedness space. Hey, I'd like that gun. That looks kind of fun. Or, ooh, I'm going to do mobility training. So I'm like getting some ATV and learning off-roading and stuff. And you're like, oh, actually, the comms are super important. You're like, shut the fuck up, man. People get into it for the fun stuff. That's what sucks them in. Whether or not it's the most effective. Yeah, you should learn first aid and get radios and do the dork shit. But the thing is, it's not sexy. Especially not the way that T-Rex is selling it. If I come to power, I would do it in a fun way. We're going to come out with T-Rex branded MREs, and we'll have a game show where you only can eat T-Rex branded MREs and drink whole milk until you die of constipation, and the last guy standing wins. Stuff like that would be exciting. That would get me into the MRE space, you know? But yeah, it's again, the dorks don't understand that you need a little bit of flashiness to it for the marketing. I think T-Rex needs to replace their marketing guy. Yeah, their marketing fucking sucks. But the thing is, I don't think they could like look within themselves and implement a new plan, because it would involve, I don't know, it would involve introspection. Sure would. Anyway, the T-Rex thing it's fun. It's good. I appreciate them responding, you know, and we'll see what happens with them in the future.